Air. It's way too early for the fake. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content. It's culture. Welcome to the Cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with Pimps Over Simps. Choice. Real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my... Man, look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get... Man, come on. Press play. Press play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pulling that up.
What's going on?
Just feeling... Keeping an eye on Vixen. She still ain't popped yet.
Yeah.
She probably took her on the second stick then. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, damn, that won't even come up. Just trying to pull up them questions. I know one of them was the silent killers of breeding programs. So from my experience, that could be getting in trouble with the animal control. That could be genetic bottlenecking yourself. That could be like health conditions that you can't see. That would be a silent killer of a breeding program. Because like not every, just because like whenever you do inbreeding and stuff, and they come out with perfect teeth, perfect, you know what I mean? They might have a heart murmur, and you won't know that until they're certain, like if you get them checked or if they're a certain age and you start noticing that they like are weak workers, you're like, huh, that's certain things like that. Especially with certain families of dogs, like Tom's talked about the heavy bully son dogs having anal prolapses, vaginal prolapses, heart murmur, some of that stuff. Just if you breed too tight on it, specifically certain individuals. I mean, like I haven't seen none of that yet, you know, in my dogs, but like also like before I get to that step, I'm gonna take outcrosses. I have it already lined up to do that, so I won't even like the next possibility of seeing some health issue would be off of this litter, but I doubt it. Both individuals are so healthy, I don't see them bringing anything bad to the table, unless it's just genetically in them. Got Michonne out on the move. Can y'all both hear me?
Yeah. I can hear.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
oh, go ahead, bro.
Well, the silent,
No, I was gonna say that's true though.
Like,
Come on, let's go.
What you really got to worry about are the silent killers of the breeding program. I mean, really. Like, you could be doing great, and then 1 minute something could happen and knock you completely off the trajectory. Like, it's just, there's variables that are out of our control as human beings. Messing with live animals, you know what I mean? There's always going to be variables that we can't control. We can talk about controlling them all we want to, but like, if you're in it long enough, you're going to see stuff that like you had no control over. like Levi, he got attacked by something in my front yard, and I mean, I tried my best. I did everything I could. You know what I mean? He probably would have been like one I really put out there hog hunting, showing people what they can do. Like he had a slight underbite, and I would have just put him out there and show him what work he can do for the blood of dogs, and then I'd have bred his brother. Just because his brother has no physical health issues whatsoever, nothing, no underbite, no crooked feet, nothing like that, no breathing problems. That's a topic. Let me ask you this, Welsh. Have you seen dogs that have like in the last 5 years all of a sudden start like making a hacking noise? Not heartworms, not nothing like that, but they make like a hacking noise, and it's almost like it hinders their breathing.
Yeah, my neighbor up the road, he has, I forgot what type of dogs. He crosses game dogs into his hunting dogs. I can't remember the type of the outcross it is, but his dogs was doing that not too long ago. And he went and got blood work. I can't remember what he said it was, though. I will have to get with him and get back to you. I myself haven't had it, though. Not yet, at least, knock on wood. But, yeah. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people post videos of their dogs, and they're like, and then like they'll start hacking and coughing. I'm like, me and my buddy did he say it was Clostridium?
Hacking and coughing like what? Like explain.
It's like okay, have you ever what's the closest thing to that? It's like almost like yeah,
That's the best way, kind of. They're like it's like a cat with a hairball. That's what.
Because I'm gonna tell you what he did. I'm gonna tell you because when I was over there when it was happening, he went and got do you know the stuff they sell at Tractor Supply to open up the lungs, the little thing you could put in their mouth? Have you seen that? Y'all know about that? Stuff? Yeah.
The yellow menthol and the yellow.
He put it. He ran and got that, and then he wound up because it was two of them that was doing it, so he wound up putting them in the truck and going to the vet. But that had helped it for the time being, I should say, at the moment. But so yeah, I'm gonna have to go back over there and see what exactly they told him.
Yeah.
But I know that did help for the moment, though.
Yep. So that's just something I've seen that's become more common of a thing. I've seen a few dogs doing that, and I had never seen that as a kid. Usually when a dog was hacking like that, it was heartworms or something. But like the dogs I've seen were tested for heartworms, and they did not have them. So I'm like, interesting. Like that could be a silent killer of a breeding program. You know what I mean? Like hell, they can't breathe. How you move forward with that? If I had no option, I would outcross.
I mean, outcrossing this. See, and this is the thing, Elevated. This is the thing, though. This is the thing. People want to keep certain names in the pedigree. Then you have the people who don't want to try nothing else. But people, what they have to. This is why hunters need to understand genetics, because when you outcross and then breed back to your stuff, you're washing the blood. It's a different genetic profile, yes, but you're washing the blood, and that gives you like I said, I'm not big on inbreeding, but if you're preserving a certain thing at a certain time, and when you outcross it and then inbreed back into it twice, you basically you know what I'm saying? You basically push the shit out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little different, but you got it back healthier and cleaner now.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of people don't think about.
Adding the new variables in there, the good and the bad of these two breeds that you put together, the alleles, they go through a genetic code that assesses himself and will pick better traits most of the time. Am I right or am I wrong? Like
I
whenever you
mean,
cross
yeah,
two
that's
bloods, they
uh,
genetically compete against each other, and whichever alleles are more dominant pop out.
so. I
You know,
mean, that's just I don't know, man. So a lot of people, the simple shit people don't really think about. Like that shit is so simple. It's not even, it's not even that complicated.
and things like that, people be like, "I'd cull the whole yard." What the? I mean, yeah, that's easy to say if you ain't put in a lot of work on it. You know what I mean? But like, some of these men have put in 20 years, 30 years worth of work for these dogs, and they're not willing to just cull the whole yard over a fucking hairball hack. Like they'll try, they'll at least try to make it better. You know what I'm saying? What does it hurt to go one more generation, try to make it better
Yeah,
versus just
that
culling
that
that?
that
Like,
that. Now that what I was gonna say. That's just like dude had an issue with his what was it? The father. He was about to do a daddy daughter breeding. I forgot what the issue was, but he had asked me a question, and I told him just send me some of the pigs he had, and I noticed he had a okay, what was it? His dad, the father was double bred off of some dog. He was gonna breed. I forgot what his situation was, but he gonna breed the daughter back to the daddy. But I noticed that the daughter of the father he was gonna breed it back to had offsprings with a dog that was in the father's third generation brother, dogs down from that dog. And I told him, why you don't just breed him to the female from that and then take the male from, and then see which ones work and then do it that way. That way, if you do have to inbreed, you won't fuck up your genetics and suppress your genetics.
yeah, that's I think inbreeding. Like when I done Mason to Rogue, like I really thought about that. I really assessed the female that she was. You know what I'm saying? And the dog and his producing capabilities. You know what I mean? So like, if he didn't produce such a high number of dogs already, I wouldn't have inbred him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I don't mean like 8 puppies. I mean like active dogs that will work. You know, that's what I meant by high number. Like he produces a high number of working quality dogs. So that's why I done the inbreeding. I wanted to make something like Judge to take his place because he'll be 11 in December. So kind of already in that step.
And it's certain lines. It's certain lines you can inbreed on because a lot of lines is actually crossbred, but the way certain people read pedigrees, they don't see it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of lines that you actually can inbreed that's already outcrossed, like in the 5th generation. So it's 5th, 6th generation, so it's not as tight as people not looking past the 4th. Yeah. So
they look the first 4 generations like that's either like okay. So a puppy, my buddy Throwback, dude. We saw this puppy at a dog show, and I was like, I looked up its pedigree because they had it on the paper. You could look up its pedigree and see how it was bred, and everybody I was listening to was like, man, that's scatterbred dog. I heard everybody walking around say that, right? Well, I went on there and looked at the ped, and I told my buddy Daniel, I said, that dog ain't scatterbred. He's not scatterbred. He's heavy. She's heavy Cottonham's red man to the a little. Let me look the pedigree up to a little bit of Chinaman stuff. I was like, she's not as outcrossed as people think. They just don't see the names they're used to seeing.
And that's the problem when, like I said, that's the main issue. People looking for certain names and not actually reading the pedigree. The pedigree is a map. People just looking for. That's like you driving cross. That's like you driving cross country. And you only looking at one state name, and you trying to figure out your way to get to it. Like you looking at the fucking map. Like that is crazy.
Yep. And like, you ever heard the saying like strong men make hard times make. You ever heard that saying? Like,
Yeah,
where's the
yeah,
circle?
yeah.
Okay, so the pedigree can be a physical representation of that right there, where they're at in the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you
Yeah.
need to do next is what the pedigree is. Like, people puts too much weight on it. It's got this dog and this dog in it more than what you need to do in the future to keep that, to keep that in there or bring it out more. Like, and like a lot of people will say selective breeding, like on the hog and the box conversation. Like, you can selective breed, but at the same time, if you breed two dogs, you're gonna get what you get. You know what I mean? You can say you selectively did all you want to, but you're gonna get what you get. Either you get good shit or you get shit. And that's just, I mean, that's every time we do a breeding, we're rolling those dice. Except for instead of 2 dice trying to get 7, we're rolling a Yahtzee.
I mean, that's in life. If you look at a wolf pack, I mean, because you roll it, like you said, you rolling the dice. I mean, if your bitch have 8 pups and you get 3 to 4 good ones, god damn it, you blessed. Because a lot of people only get 1. A lot of people don't get none. Yep. So, it's you don't see a bunch of alpha males in the wolf pack for a reason. Yeah. You got the alpha and exactly. So like I said, people trying to make new rules and bend the narrative. You got to stop that shit, bro. It's nature. Nature has the structure set up already. So,
and if we pulled up a video of a wolf pack working together, 80% of people, I'll just say 80, probably can't even tell you which one's the alpha by watching.
They can't.
And I mean, you can tell clear as day. If you study the way they act and the way canines act with each other, then you can tell which one is the alpha by the way they're moving, where they're at in the pack, where they're standing.
Yeah, because everybody got a position to play.
Yeah. Where do you think motorcycle clubs got the pack structure from?
The structure is the same thing.
Exactly. Yep. And
it's people in motorcycle clubs that don't even know that.
Yeah, they don't even know that that's where it came from.
But it go back to these dogs. It's the same thing that you got people in these dogs that claim that they didn't know that the AM staff was already here. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing.
They just didn't read far enough back in history. A lot of people wants to stop at the 60s and 70s. Like, this shit goes way back. Goes back to the 1860s. And before that, it goes back to the 1600s. There was dogs brought here in 1585 that don't get no credit for making the dogs that they are today. You know what I mean? Everybody, if you ask them, they come here in the 1850s and 60s during the potato famine of the Irish. Like, that's when they claim most of these dogs come here. And same way as slavery, I don't believe that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We did not bring everything here. That's just history.
It was already here. It's too much proof. But people, like I said, you could teach them how to. You can lead them to the water. They can't drink it though, bro.
Yeah, you can spoon it up in their mouth and they still can't drink it. I don't know. Some of it's just closed-mindedness, only wanting to fit their idea of something.
Well, that's life, because again, like, okay, when they talk about, just think about when they talk about the foundation of the pit bulls, they always bring up Divo and all these other dogs, right? So, just like I say, people that really know what happened with the Jocko situation, they think all the Jocko dogs just disappeared. They don't realize a lot of them Red Boy dogs have hung papers, because a lot of them Red Boy dogs, some of them were Jocko dogs, and a lot of them have Jocko in them, but they claim that it's a pure Red Boy dog. Yep. So yeah, they think all these Jocko dogs just disappeared off the face of the earth. That's why when you look at the foundation of the dogs, like I always say, okay, people always bring up Dabo and all that. So you don't think that Dabo father, grandfather, and all them have families of dogs that's alive today? Why only Dabo they focus on?
That's the name they're familiar with, and that's the name that's been romanticized.
And when you're only familiar with one name, then it's a lot that you're not qualified to speak on.
Yeah, you miss out on the whole thing if you're just like, I only like Red Boy dogs. I only like Eli dogs. You know what I mean? Like, I like bulldogs. I really don't.
Me, I like all. That's why I say I like a little bit of everything, because I ain't gonna limit myself. You know.
Yeah, see, well, like when I first, so that's another sign of being new in the game, right? So, like when I first got into it, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like the look of macho buck dogs, or them type of dogs. You know what I'm saying? I just did not like the look. I had grew up with bulldogs looking a certain way, but now I understand that they're important. And like, I was even gonna breed one named Prime that looked like a light colored macho buck. Like he looked just like macho buck, but he's lighter colored. You know what I mean? Like, I'm even gonna breed him into some of my stuff. Eventually, like, I've come to learn that like all these little things that we're like we don't like. If you go to taking those small factors away, if everybody took and picked out small factors they didn't like and took them away, then
you wouldn't even have to
be
breed.
the same dog. Yeah,
That's that's what I keep saying. Like, and when people say, "Oh well," and like I say, everybody got their own thing, but people that say they don't want no dogs that take too long to start, and then when I go back and look at they type of dogs they like, and I look at their foundation and realize, well, if the people that created these dogs, the reason why you got your dog, if they thought like you wouldn't even have your dog and your favorite dog, because that foundation was late starters.
Yep.
So you might not like it, but the dogs that you praising that's on your yard or your favorite dog, their foundation was late starters. So if you was in control of those dogs back then, you wouldn't have no dogs.
Yep.
It's that's why people don't know their game dog history. You had dogs out here still competing at 7-8 years old because they was late starters. But some of those dogs, again, the late starters have made bigger impacts on more yards than these other dogs that these people claim are the ones that was ready at 9, 10, 11, 12 months.
Yep, they get ruined before the late starter. They get ruined before the late starters even started, and then the late starter outlives it by 8 years.
Exactly. So Chinaman ain't retired to what, 8, 7? Wait, let me see.
Yeah, he was
7, like probably 8
and a half, and then he died at like what? I think he was 9, wasn't he?
So that's why when certain people, and again, if you got a big ass yard, you should have a higher percentage. But if you got 5-10 dogs and you trying to move forward with certain things, if the dog ain't turning on in time, give it to somebody else. See what happens. It might be the environment. Yep. It might be the fucking environment. It has happened. It has been proven. It ain't even no argument about it. So again, if everybody take, for all the people who don't want the late starters, the cold dog that done produce grand champions and shit, if everybody take away all that stuff, a lot of these grand champions and champions wouldn't be alive and wouldn't have had no chance.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Tony said selectiveness comes in when you decide what to breed from whatever you got. Yeah, it does, but at the same time, people wants to act like they've selected this and this and this when really they got that and they move forward with that. You didn't select it, you just got it. People's trying to put too much credit on these men and not enough on the dogs. Dogs are only going to produce what they are.
That's the problem. But see, look at it this way. The Pit Island Waccamaw Cross. The Pit Island Waccamaw Cross. Look how many. Matter of fact, it's not even that many Pit Island Waccamaw Cross, which is a good thing. So the people who have the Pit Island Waccamaw Crosses, we know what the higher percentages ones are. We know what we have an idea what the lower percentages ones are. So the people who have Pit Island Waccamaw Cross dogs, which individual dogs are in the pedigrees? That's what separates them. People say selective breedings, but most people, when you talk about selective breedings, they not really, like you just said, they not really doing selective breedings. Now, if when you talk about selective breeders, that's like I say, okay, we're gonna take Jarvis to, let's say we take Jarvis to a female that Big A have, and then let's say we take a male from that and breed it to a female that I have, and then say we take something from that and breed to Supreme dog. That's selective breeding, because we all selected it and agreed upon it. Like I said, a lot of people are using certain terms wrong, because people say they doing selective breeding, but a lot of y'all pedigrees look the same, and y'all not even kennel partners. So, is
selective breeding to me is like something like you said that can't be repeated.
I mean, it's again
selective breeding. It only happened on a low number, one time, maybe twice.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people that talk about selective breeding. Why is it 13, 20 other people with pets close or the same as yours if y'all been selective breeding all these years? If you selecting breeding over years and years, it shouldn't be no pets that look the same as yours.
Yep. Like, I get hit up all the time asking what my pets are, and I'll send it to them, and like, I don't recognize any of these dogs. I'm like, you shouldn't. They were owned in my house. They weren't put on the internet. Like, you shouldn't know who they are. You know what I mean? Like I know I try to breed. I don't, like I said, it's a lot of good stuff, but if anything, as far as me, if anything moving forward, if anybody has anything that's close to mine, me and them have to be networking or something. But you're not going to find, even now, you're not going to find 10, 15, 20 other people with the same pairs as mine. You're just not. Yep. So it's a lot, like I said, a lot of people talk about that selective breeding, but you got a whole bunch of other people that you don't even know. Some of them and they got the same pedigrees as you. That's not selective breeding. If anybody can go get it, that's not selective breeding. For the breeder, it was selective breeding, but not the person who went and got it. But yeah, that's. He said you can do a lot with genetically printed it's about makeup, but it doesn't mean about new space you want to. The definition of selective breeding. Selective breeding, also known as artificial selection, is a process where humans actively choose which organisms with desirable traits are allowed to reproduce, thus influencing the genetic makeup of future generations. This process, driven by human intention, differs from natural selection, where the environment dictates which organisms survive and produce. So yeah, it's 100% true that like you're picking them, but at the same time, like you're picking them, you could get it. People only claim selective breeding when it works. When it don't work, like, oh, that wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it didn't.
It's just like I said, a lot of these dogs got losses, but they don't put that up there. So it's the same shit. It's the same shit, man.
And like historically speaking, I had heard of like champions back in the day that lost, and they wouldn't put their that lose up, so they were still studding them out as a champion, like
and
with no loss.
like I always say, if back then the people now, if they was back then when this shit was getting started, it wouldn't even be a breed.
Yep. Yep.
They standards is ungodly, bro.
Yep. Like
they like the shit is amazing.
Yep, they act
You
like
know.
it's supposed to be a bulldozer. I'm like, dude, it's not a machine. They are animals. Every time you think it's gonna do something, you'll take it and it'll prove you wrong or prove you right in a weird way.
I
That
mean, yeah,
salute.
but see, and again, the bloodlines, the more successful bloodlines, other than when I say successful bloodlines. Now, let's say, Snooty. Snooty lost twice. You hear a lot of these guys say, well, the way they talk, Snooty wouldn't have got no producing career
Yep.
with the way some of these guys talk. Now think about how many dogs come down from Snooty.
Yep. And see, so that mindset right there, like even though he lost, he still produced, is the same reason I never done anything with Mason and bred him. Men were doing that back in the day. They were breeding dogs that they, you know what I mean, never did nothing with. I mean, he's killed lots of like small game, but I'm talking historically speaking, he's never done nothing. So like, but still produces dogs that get loose and have bad accidents. You know what I mean? Like bad.
I mean,
accidents.
and it's the thing though. Okay, they say Red Boy when it gets a female and beat a sick dog. So technically, historically speaking, Red Boy is not a game dog. He didn't win shit. He's just a ROM dog. Technically, am I wrong? I mean, historically speaking, we talking about historical stuff. We talking about historically. Now, a male beating a female. I mean, I'm not gonna count that. Then if even in professional boxing, if you cut weight too quick and you go fight and lose, I mean, I can't really. Yeah, you beat him, but he wasn't even 100%. So
yeah,
I mean, so
to where
so rather the dog been in the box or not, or had worthy competition, doesn't mean he's going to produce. So when we talk about all these champion dogs, why do people skip past the dogs in the pedigree with the black and white pedigree like they did, like they're not in there? Again, everything is an engine. Every part plays something. You got dogs that got 3 losses in history. It's two dogs that have 3 losses on their record that a lot of people don't realize is in their pedigree. That I have shown a lot of times, not on here, but like in private groups. It's a dog that has 3 losses on their record that's in a lot of people's foundation. And they don't even know it. And the dog not that far back. He on the top and the bottom, so he plays a big role in their pedigree. And they'll come on here or Facebook or something and talk about how they don't want certain type of dogs. But your shit is based off of a loser.
Yep. Well, 1975 prior, okay? How many men sat there and watched matches and saw that motherfucker lose with dignity? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'd rather breed to that loser than the winner of that. That happened a lot because they showed the trait in losing that they wanted to get instead of, oh, that dog just won the whole time, so that's the traits I want. There's traits in losing that you want too. That's you
want something that's gonna stay there and not run off. So if you're not seeing that part of the hunt where is fight or flight. If you're not seeing that, then you really not breeding the complete package.
Yep.
Because if your dog never been under that type of pressure in schooling to where that motherfucker almost jumped out, you not gonna know that's gonna happen when you're locked into competition when the lights is on.
Yep. And that goes back to like say the traditional, the way we're working them now on hogs, right? So I sent this little bitch Scarlet with some good buddies of mine, and the hog got her in the abdomen, and they don't really know if she drowned or if she bled to death, but she did not leave. She was there the whole time. They pried her off of him after she was dead. Like that right there, and that's heavily bred into my stuff, all of it. The same blood that she is my stuff. And like some of them do prove themselves. Like if she would have made it, I would have bred the shit out of her. You know what I mean? I would have bred her to Mason. I would have bred her to Jarvis, like just because. So
if a dog show you,
they'll show you whether or not they're worth being bred if you're putting them out there enough.
Yeah, if they stay there and they not giving up, I mean, what more you need to see?
Yeah.
I mean, what more are you trying to see?
That's where
if they stay there longer than
the winner. What a winner!
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you know that dog has lost, but the dog is still in fight mode, not flight, but fight mode. But you know the dog lost, so you know the dog limits now. But you know the dog still ain't giving up. That's what I want to see. I ain't gonna wait till the motherfucker dead and say, "Damn, I should have buried to it." But certain situations, I'm talking about historical in the box wise. But you know, it's a lot of good dogs been lost to a lot of people who they ended up in the wrong hands. A lot of good dogs.
Yeah.
You know, some of these dogs they put more pressure on these dogs than they had in their own life, you know.
Yep. They put more pressure on these dogs than they would ever put on themselves.
Yeah, and that's my whole problem. You know. Yeah, that's the crazy part.
How high of so we're always talking about how high the ratio of the trait is of gameness in these dogs. How high is that trait in us humans? Because I don't see many humans that I think are truly game. They not.
Yeah. Most of 60, I would say roughly 60% of the people with these dogs, they not game at all. We have it's some serious people in this game. We know some good old school brothers in there and some younger ones, but 60% of the people in this game as of right now, yeah, but most of them, they 3-time curve boy. That's why they so hard on their dogs, because they missing something within themselves.
It's an ego.
So they got to put extra pressure on the dogs.
Yep. And
because
you can tell by the way the guy's standing holding the leash.
Yeah.
Gentlemen. I'm glad Wells said that.
There you go.
I'm glad my brother Wells just said that. Don't expect nothing out these damn dogs you can't do yourself.
Well, that hey, listen, bro, Supreme, listen to me, bro. Listen to me. It's yes, I ain't gonna say his name, but he claimed he had this, and this. I said, okay. Well, you talk like that and all that. Well, shit, bring your dog too. He ain't show up, or his dog ain't show up.
Damn.
You know, it's you know, but LaQuint know what I'm talking about. But it's like again, fellas. These dogs we have the best dogs in the world. We have the best dogs in the world. Though we see, and again, I can't stress it enough. We see what's going on as far as the underground. And I want to say this again about paperwork. And that's why we doing these lives for the education purpose also. If you don't shit where you eat at, you ain't got nothing to worry about if you got paperwork. Again, it's a lot of kingpins and people that's out here that you have never heard of. You know why? Because they move smart. They not telling you how much money they making on Facebook. They not doing the money phone on social media. They ain't doing. You walk past millionaires every day and don't even know it. So
Yeah.
with this paperwork don't mean shit. Paperwork is your roadmap. Ain't nothing proud of to say, oh, my dog ain't got paperwork. Well, that's you. If you bring your own stock though and moving forward, and you know how your dollars is bred, okay. But for the people that blame the paperwork for the all the other bullshit, I never seen the paperwork go to the police station and point these people out. These people didn't secure their location where they were doing things at, and then you end up on the news. Let's just keep it
It's
real.
always evidence
Let's
after
keep
the
it
fact.
real. Stop blaming the paperwork. The paperwork is not talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can't come in and find you with paperwork and you're in trouble. They only use
Exactly.
the paperwork as
Exactly.
evidence after the fact.
People. That's why I say I don't know how people view life, but a lot of people need to slow down and stop trying to put you fucked up. The paperwork ain't do shit. You fucked up. You know, and the thing is, when you're in court, they don't even talk about paperwork.
Yeah, but we don't even be going in that direction over here, you know. Yeah,
I'm
we don't be
just
going in
putting it
that
out there,
direction
man.
over here, man. Huh?
No, I said I'm just putting it out there, man, for educational purposes, man.
Yeah, but
Like,
I mean, honestly, we don't even be pushing that over here, you know. I definitely understand. Like I said it before, man. Like I got no issue with what everybody else or what anybody else got going on. Salute to you, man. But you know, keep it in your circle, man. Like that shit, you know, it ain't. You know, we on some modern times. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
keep it in your circle and draw a chalk line so I see where the circle lies. Because I'm not interested in being drug in anything. You know what I mean? That's why I want to push this hog hunting movement. That's why we're gonna or open up this catch pen where people can bring their dogs. Like, I'm not gonna be stingy with it. If you think you have good dogs and you want to put them on a pig, because I've hit up people for years, dude. I want to put my dogs on pigs. I want to put my dogs on pigs. One guy has helped me do that. You know what I mean? And nobody else. So like, I want to change that for the future. I want to make it a lot easier to where you can come, pay, put your dog on some pigs in a controlled environment, and you'll know what it's going to do. Then it's on you to move the next step forward. You know what I mean? To go to the woods yourself. But like, I want to know in the pen, in a controlled environment. That way, if something happens and you want to, separate it, you can pull your dog off the hog, and if it don't do good, then you're not stuck in the woods, plus potentially getting it killed and your legs cut up or anything.
Have you ever timed your dog to where how long it take to take control of the hog? Have you done that before?
No, because our pen is just now getting set up. The couple, I mean, it was pretty fast. Like, it was pretty fast. The one was pretty fast because the pig wasn't but about 65, 70 pounds. And the other one, she never did get it because it was just such way bigger than her. Like, we just put her on a little pig to see if she'd do it, and she did it really good and like effectively. I was like, wow. Well, then we walk over to the bigger pig pen, and like, she didn't even see the pig. I tapped on the side of the kennel, and she jumped over the side, and when she hit the ground, you could tell in her brain, like, she was only like 10 months old. You could tell in her brain, she was like, wow, this pig's a lot bigger than that other pig. And it kind of like hit at her, and then she hit it, bam. And she had it by the ear, but she was not making that pig do anything that she wanted it to do. It was way too big for her.
He said hog hunting, ADBA confirmation, weight pull, the new American. But see, pressure camp, this the thing though. This the thing, pressure camp. See, I mean, constant pressure. This the thing. people don't realize that's a public show. Again, that shares a good light.
Mhm.
If elevator, imagine this elevated. Say we had a weight pool confirmation, tug of war, all that shit. Say we charge everybody $100 to get in. We doing all cash prizes. And imagine if we could get that in all 50 states to have a show every month of the year.
Yeah.
You know how much money that would generate in the American Pit Bull Terrier community alone?
Yep.
So when people say ain't no money in these dogs, it's a lot of, especially if we doing something in public. You showing the athleticism of these dogs. You showing that they not a one-track mind type of dog.
Yep.
And technically, that'll force some of these lazy dog men to get back in shape or get their dogs in shape, knowing they'll say, okay, I got 3 months until this show come to my state. I could go compete for $5,000 right quick. You see what I'm saying?
Man, you know they lazy ass ain't gonna get back in shape, bro. You know, come on, Welch.
Hey, listen,
Come on,
hey, Supreme. Listen, they ain't got to. I'm all with it. I'm trying to set the shit up where we doing all cash prizes. And like I said,
It'll
rather
just
you
easier to handle them.
rather you competing or you not, it's $100 at the door. It don't matter if you competing or not. That's what make the pot bigger, and that's gonna make people work harder to compete.
Yep. And I mean, I'm gonna throw it out here a bunch. That's what makes the no prep racing scene what it is.
Exactly.
They pay that prize. Only people that shows up are people that knows they can compete. And
Exactly.
they'll show up from states, like different states, to do that because the prize is so big. When you go home, that could change your life.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like I say, I like the ADBA shows. I like the SDR show, but we need to step it up. That's just me. My personal opinion. I feel we can have the fun family side like they doing now. And then for the people who serious about competition, we need to have they already have cash prize hog hunting competitions up to $200,000. So, but as far as like the weight pool, the confirmation, like we could have a confirmation show. The winner of the regular confirmation show would be, let's say that's $1,000. Then whoever get best chocolate will be $500. Best black dog will be $500. Best red nose. You see shit like that. And then you got the weight pool for the money. Like I said, you got the treadmill race for the fastest time and the longest distance. That's going to be some heavy competition right there. And like I said, it's $100 at the door. Look how many people be at the public shows. Just imagine we was doing real competitions and $100 at the door. Them shits would be packed every month.
If people could actually win something like that when they like, because I've went to a lot of dog shows, and I mean I've come back with ribbons and trophies. You know, like that's all you have the option to come back with.
But imagine if you came back with $5,000-$10,000.
Bro, that would buy
that's the type of shit I'm on. That's what I'm trying to build right now.
Yeah.
Like the ribbons and trophies, all that shit cool, but I'm trying to prove a point with these dogs.
Right. And
you know, that shit cool, but we can prove a lot of things on the combine per aspect. You know, you might say you're a better conditioner. Well, if you're a better conditioner, you should beat me on the fastest time, and you should beat me on the longest distance.
Yep.
Right.
So
let me say this real quick though, man. You know, like, and that's the things that we be trying to stress, man. Like for me, man, this is Big A talking. You know what I'm saying? So I can't speak for anybody else. All of the real, you know, historical game talk and, you know, the whole nine, all of that, man. I leave to the OGs, man. There's enough of them out there to tell the story, man. But like for me, I try to focus on moving forward. I ain't focusing on the past, man. I'm moving forward, and I know, you know, you got to know the history to move forward. So that's something that I highly respect, and you know what I'm saying. Don't have one issue with it. But like nowadays, man, the focus should be moving forward, not looking back. So when it comes to like a lot of things, man, a lot of people be talking around, and the thing is, like, I get it, I respect it, but like, focus it forward, man. That's the thing that's going, keep these dogs here, man. That's the thing that's going to keep these dogs around. Because, you can look left and right and throw a rock in any state, damn near any county, man, any parish, and you can rack up the numbers on people who getting jammed. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, 5 generations from now, I still want to be here. You know what I'm saying? No matter what the situation is, I still want to be here. I still want to have mine. You know what I'm saying? And I want to have a purpose for them. I don't want to just be, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose
Hell
of,
yeah.
all of this. So that's one thing that, I like to stress, man, because it's a lot of youngsters, man, talking that talk, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's time to start
Yeah.
looking forward. It's time to start
Yeah.
looking forward, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's,
And
that's
like
why I
I
say
say,
you got to look for it.
it's 1,000 wow respect to all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, whatever you got going on, man, it'd be best to keep it in your circle. But over here, man, we looking forward, man. We ain't looking back. We on the fast track, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And out of all the men I've asked, can you give me a suggestion of how to move forward in the future? Welsh is the only one that's gave me a good enough answer that I'm like, that's actually possible. Like that
And
would push
dropping
us
jewels.
further. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Big respect.
so you're not far from me, right, Welsh?
No, I'm in VA and in South Carolina. I'm
Okay.
on both sides, so yeah.
Okay, so I have a venue I'm looking at for in August. I'll hit you up later and I'll call them and we'll try to put this together.
Man, listen, I'm
We'll
trying to
make a slot where you put people's names in it. They pay ahead of time. We put their money in a pot. We can even make a bank account where they put it in, or like something where
we
they
could do
put their
something
money in.
online with the deposits
That
and
way nobody's touching it.
yeah.
Because I mean, at these no prep races, they got a guy named Limpy, right? And he's just a guy that's really trustworthy between all them men. So he's the one that holds the money most of the time, from my understanding. But like, we could do it digital where you pay and the money goes on one thing. You know what I mean? And then when you win, you get access to that. Whoever,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
That'd be the best way. That way, nobody feels like we're touching their money at all. So,
And that way,
just
and then we could come up with well, we'll talk about the other stuff on the back street, but we'll come up with certain type of wristbands too.
Yep.
And we'll put it together.
Well, and this could be like a Shogun thing where we could broadcast this. We could,
Well, that's why I told Dre. Well, that's why I was telling Dre we could do it like we could do the regular season like they do in basketball and football, and then we had the playoffs and the championships. We'd do that in person. So like with the Digital Dog Show, with the confirmation, you do all of you had a okay, let's see. NBA is what, 7 rounds? So I don't know. We'd think of a structure, and like I said, we had the regular season online, and then we get together and put the ambassadors in certain states, and then we'll all sit down and get together the dates and events, and then we'll have the actual live show of the competition for the cash prizes.
Yep. And you know how on like game shows they'll have three or 4 judges?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have different judges because we want to show is no favoritism. We gonna matter of fact, we gonna cast a blind ballot, meaning we gonna provide. We'll talk about it on the back street. We'll talk about it on the back street.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the back street. That way, it'll be no favoritism, and yeah.
Yeah, because see, that's one thing I have seen at the shows a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I still
it's
go.
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's not gonna deter me from going just because my dog don't win something because I'm not their favorite. That don't mean shit to me. Like
I just go to network. Go to network.
Well, like as I've went, because of the way that's worked and I've seen it, I've paid and entered less stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I first
Yeah.
went, I entered every dog and everything they possibly could fit in. You know what I mean? But now I kind of just show up and support and like just be there for the breed. You know what I mean? Like try to spend my time around like-minded people wanting to see their dogs in the same light. But like.
Okay.
As far as this is more sports based. This is you can talk, but they'll do the talking when it comes down to it.
And I was gonna say what would make the voting better when we do the live competitions is just like in the regular dog show, you got a bunch of people there, but in this show you cannot cast a vote if you didn't pay to get in, and only people that are getting in is the people that pay anyway. So we will have, depending on how many people there, we'll have 2, 3, 4, 5 lines with everybody writing their vote, and then we will have to sit down and count the votes and then do it that way. You see what I'm saying?
And
So,
are you familiar with Cletus McFarland?
Yeah, I know Cletus, man.
So he does the races at the Freedom Factory, and he does them pay-per-view. And the people that are there and pay, you know, they see it, but then you can buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah, the straight.
That could be a thing too.
We gonna put it together because I've been trying to get a group of people for a while, but I'm telling we can put this shit together and it'll get big, man. I'm telling you, because with the favoritism, you can't do that on the treadmill. You can't do that with tug of war because the dogs is physically working. It's multiple people watching. You gonna know who winning and who don't. You see what I'm saying? So confirmation. That's why I said we only having paying members, and then everybody has to get in the line and cast a vote as far as the confirmation shows. But with the treadmill for longest time, for fastest time and longest distance, we got the meters for that. So we automatically gonna know, we ain't got to cast no vote for that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We can have this I've been to a lot of shows, so I've seen the things that I feel like could change and the things that I feel like should stay the same. So, definitely as long as we're talking about pushing ourselves forward, things like this, the digital dog show, stuff like that, that's pushing us forward into a better light. And I don't care what people have to prove to each other. That's pushing us forward. You know what I mean? That's just...
Well, matter of fact, Big A, hold on. So, okay, me and you, boom. Supreme, where you at?
I'm in Lake County. I'm in Lake County, Indiana. I'm right outside Chicago, bro. I'm like 15, 20 minutes outside Chicago.
So about 12 hours to me.
And what, Samurai in Arizona?
He's probably 20-something hours from me.
So if we... All right, okay, hold on. Samurai Supreme got my number. Elevated, do you got Samurai number?
Yeah, I can get it from him.
Okay, look, Big A. All right, so Big A.
Yeah.
All right, so look, let me think. Is Samurai on here?
You probably watching.
All right, Samurai, if you watching, put all of us in the group chat on a text message so we can talk, so we can discuss this. That way we could discuss the other states. And just put us in the group text.
Okay. What you call it, man? We coming up on the end of the show, man. We got Men at Work coming up next, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. Pimps in the field. Tune in, man. It's going down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Make your rounds, man.
Hit it, Supreme, or Will.
Shit, it's Supreme. I'm out here working this dog, man. You already know what's going. You already know, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all stay blessed, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Welsh.
Shit, till next time, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Elevated King.
Yeah,
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that. The Show Dog Journal. I appreciate y'all for watching.
Yes, sir. We out, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all ain't gotta go nowhere, man. He can stay here, man, and kick it with us, man. We out though. Peace.
Hey, constant pressure. Hit me. Hit me on Facebook or something if you got my number or something.
All right. I'm gonna make songs for all of them.
Know the cap in my cup. Hold your wallet, it's hard in alcohol. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Sun ain't up, but I'm already wired. Pouring strong brew with a backyard.